Buenos dias, buenos dias. Cosmos is growing. We're seeing more and more adoption around interchain security version 2. We already know that Evmos has proposed to join, but we have two more projects that just dropped plans to migrate and become atom secured. Also, we have increased adoption of IBC technology itself. IBC is getting integrated in a top 15 cryptocurrency by market cap. Which one that is, we're going to talk about today. And also about general macro views, the kind of sentiment right now. I feel like we are in a new phase as compared to the last videos that I did the week before. So as always, fully loaded episode. We're also going to be talking about airdrops, by the way, so don't miss out on that, which is why you have to watch the entire video and also like and subscribe. But let's go one by one. Starting off, BlackRock has a new ad in which they're shilling Bitcoin, and they're calling Bitcoin a hedge against geopolitical uncertainty and monetary risk. And if you just sit back for a second and just think about and resonate the past years in crypto, whenever you entered crypto, maybe around 2020, maybe even the cycle before 2017, like I did, thinking that time that one day BlackRock would shill Bitcoin for us would have been insane. Just that thought would have been insane. I remember John McAfee has been one of the biggest voices and proponents of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies back in the days, rest in peace. And he predicted that. He said that one day they will all be forced to adopt it. They will be forced to embrace it. And that's exactly what we're seeing. That's also what we're going to see in this year's election and campaigning, right? We had now the first debate between Trump and Biden. Crypto was not brought up there, to my surprise also. Maybe it will be in following debates and might also be one of the decisive factors of who's going to win this election. But the reason I'm bringing this up here now as the first topic is because I really want you to understand how fast crypto has grown over the years, how big we are now on the global stage. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's aware of it. The infrastructure is adopting, right? It's like with electric cars, like all the electric stations to charge your car are being built right now. And this takes time. The entire infrastructure is getting built. The streets are getting built right now. And in my personal opinion, not only Bitcoin, not only Ethereum, but a lot of altcoins, and I'm not saying all altcoins because there are a lot of scams. There's a huge minefield of scam coins out there, rug pulls, celebrity rugs that we're seeing now more and more. So it is a minefield. You need to be careful, but we're seeing the infrastructure right now being built in front of our eyes. So all that we literally have to do is stay on top of the things, keep learning, keep studying, keep networking, meeting more people, going to events, getting smarter. I also see right now a lot of people are saying we need more users, we need more applications, we need more consumer-facing products, which is all true. I 100% agree. But at the same time, we also have to acknowledge and recognize that the infrastructure is not ready yet. We still need to go through iteration of certain layer one architectures, models, data availability, scalability problems, decentralization problems, before we can actually onboard 10 million, 100 million, a billion active users on a daily basis that have real products to use, right? Because right now we're still in a mostly speculative phase of crypto. But maybe that's another topic for another video. Looking at the BTC flows on the spot ETF in the US, we see $73 million in inflows on Friday. This has not refreshed yet, so we're on Monday here today, but those numbers are still coming in. But good to see that this is now the fourth consecutive day of inflows again. They're tiny, but at least we're seeing inflows. And yeah, BlackRock has seen most of it in inflows, ARK Invest as well, while Fidelity and Grayscale have seen outflows. But that's about that. And this week might also be a pivotal week and a decisive week for the Ethereum Ether spot ETF to start trading. I think once these news are going to be public and come out, when the S1 applications are getting approved, so watch out for that, then we will see, I think, a bit of an altcoin season and altcoin relief. I also see in the comments some people really don't believe in that. They really think that altcoins are now doomed and are going down and down and down, which can happen. But for me, if I say that and people react like that, it actually reinforces my thinking that altcoin season is close, right? Because it's always at the point when people least expect it. And that's what crypto does over and over and over. It always does what you least expect. at a time when you least expect it, right? So that's all about that. Looking at the markets, we see slightly up today, 2-3%, but yeah, still altcoins are really down bad. Atom also $6.78 now, back at rank 38. So yeah, but nothing major has happened here. We see layer 0, the top gainer here. The top loser is actually TIA Celestia, now below $6, which I think is an interesting accumulation phase. If you don't have any TIA bags locked and secured, I think this might be a moment to look into it. Anything between $4 and $6 or $7 even, I think, is interesting. Yeah, you never know, right? But I think TIA, considering that this is a new cycle coin and hasn't seen a bull run yet, I understand there's big lockups coming up in October, so that might be causing some sell pressure. But also, I'm pretty sure that either many of the investors are diamond handing, and those that want to sell are also going through OTC trades, because I think still Celestia has a very strong reputation, especially amongst the builders community. They have lots of integrations. We talked about it in the last video. So if you don't believe that, then watch the last video, because I'm showing the on-chain data. And yeah, I think Celestia, in my view, one of the best bets for this cycle. Looking deeper into the Cosmos ecosystem, we see Fetch AI still the largest chain by market cap, but Atom is on its way to unflip Fetch and become the largest Cosmos chain again. Fetch itself is going through the merger very, very soon. I think this is starting actually this week as well. So Fetch AI, Ocean Protocol, and Singularity Net. And there's going to be multiple phases, right? About the merge, about also the token migration, because all these tokens are going to be migrated into one single coin, which is the ASI, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, and that is all migrating mainly onto the Fetch AI chain. So I also saw one comment asking about whether ASI is going to be IBC enabled by default. From my understanding, it is. From my understanding, this is all migrating to this Fetch AI chain. It's just going to rebrand and rename, but it's a huge, huge effort to not only migrate a token, but also you have to think about the whole legal structure behind, right? They have to set up a new council, because Fetch, Ocean, Singularity, they all have their own teams, their own investors, their own advisors, their own founders, right? So they're forming a new council here. I'm also in close communications with the team at Bosch, and Bosch also has a close partnership with Fetch. Anyways, this is work in progress. It's very, very complex, very, very high efforts, but yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Atom itself is at $6.78. Nothing much happening price-wise, but we talked about it last week, the Evmos road to ICS. Evmos is proposing to become Atom secured and be one of the earliest adopters for partial set security. We already know Sei Network, which is a chain that is launching from scratch, wants to use PSS. Now we have Evmos, which is an existing chain that wants to migrate and become Atom secured. So this proposal was dropped here on the Evmos community forum. And now we also have this proposal on the Atom forum. So if you are a Cosmos Hub community member, you can also go here and comment there, or from the Evmos draft, you can do that too. And the next step, like I also said in the last video, is going to be an on-chain proposal on the Evmos chain, then the technical implementation and testing, followed by the proposal on the Cosmos Hub chain, and then the actual transition to take place. Note that in the future, this entire process might be entirely not needed, because in the future, it might be that opt-in consumer chains, which is what Evmos is proposing, will be launched permissionlessly. So they don't actually have to go through on-chain governance. And I think if that actually works, which Informal Systems is working on, that could actually be very interesting to boost adoption of PSS very, very fastly. At the same time, we also saw Comdex now coming out saying that they want to propose using ICS v2 as well for the Comdex chain. And also we have Picasso network that might get Atom secured via ICS v2. Brain damage. Omar has made a tweet here saying the PSS signaling from the Cosmos Hub for improvement of security of Picasso is in the works, including also a new tokenomics model and a buyback and burn model, and yeah, increased revenue for Pika stakers, but that's something else. Anyways, PSS for Picasso would be very interesting, because I think this would also fit philosophically to make the Cosmos Hub kind of a security hub, but also an interchain router, basically. And that's very interesting for sure. And I think, yes, you might say now, oh yeah, all these chains, they have relatively low market caps, right? So they're not the big multi-billion-dollar dogs that we kind of hope to get. My opinion on that is that this is number one, proving the product market fit for partial set security, which is very, very important. What actually would be really, really bad is if nobody cared about partial set security going live, if there was no discussions, no thoughts about transitioning, no proposals, that would be really, really bad and super bearish for Atom. But the fact that you already have 3 and there's also Region Network and some of the older chains, right? I also think personally Stargaze makes a lot of sense to migrate. You have a very, very low fully diluted valuation, but as the premier NFT marketplace. And I think if those chains migrate, then the Cosmos hub actually becomes a hub. And then I think chains like Noble, chains like Kava, that are in the hundreds of millions with TVL and market cap, I think then those would also be interested to maybe look at that. And yeah, we'll see. But this is a good start. And I think this really proves the product market fit for partial set security. And also don't forget that in that context, there's also what is explained here in this proposal. The liquidity challenge is being addressed. So not only are these projects getting access to security and getting secured by Atom, but they also get access to the Hydra system, which is basically a liquidity, gamified liquidity system in which the Atom community can bid for deployments of Atom liquidity and also other tokens in the future that is benefiting the Atom holder community and creates a positive flywheel and revenue share. And in the current plans, at least 30% of this liquidity funding is to be allocated for ICS chains. So this means that all these chains are also now competing for liquidity. And I think this is a very, very interesting dynamic and much, much needed to revive excitement and the positioning of the Cosmos Hub. Now, on other big news, we see that Cardano, I mentioned it in the intro, Cardano Go Interchain. Cardano is building an IBC-enabled sidechain to the Cardano network, which would then connect to 115 plus chains in the IBC economy. And this is actually built by the Cardano Foundation itself. I also had calls with them a couple of months ago. So the Cardano Foundation itself is building this. Remember how around a year and a half, 2 years ago, I think, I made a video about World Mobile that wanted to build a Cosmos SDK sidechain that is fully IBC compatible on Cardano. But then I think those plans got dropped, or I'm not sure if that's still in the works, but I haven't really heard anything about that anymore. But now we're seeing that the Cardano Foundation is taking the steering wheel and is building that themselves, which is very bullish. I think this fits also into their interoperability roadmap. Now you might say, oh, that's fantastic. All 7 Cardano users can migrate to the interchain. But I also think that this is entirely the spirit of Cosmos and the interchain, right? Is to say we are not only focused on our own little, ecosystem, our own little applications, but we see actually IBC as the core of Cosmos or the interchain, and we want to get it adopted in all of crypto, right? Eventually, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, Avalanche, all of these chains, and there will be new ones, right, that don't even exist today. There will be multi-billion-dollar chains in the future that we don't even know the ticker, we don't even know the chain name, we don't even know the team that are going to get built 5 years from now. We know new ones like Berachain, for example, and from my understanding, Berachain is also going to be fully IBC enabled from the get-go. But Cosmos really is about IBC, and it's about this ecosystem of interconnected chains. And I think once you understand that, you are very happy to see this IBC winning and being adopted in the entire industry, even with projects and teams that don't have that strong synergies with the rest of the interchain, right? So this is great to see. Congrats and kudos to the Cardano Foundation, the Cardano community, and I think it's great to see that IBC is getting more adopted. Then we also had some big news about Cosmoverse that dropped today. We did the spaces alongside Osmosis, Mantra, Babylon, and the Cosmos Hub, which are all headline sponsors at Cosmoverse and all track owners at Cosmoverse. So for example, Mantra is the track owner for tokenization. Babylon is the track owner for Bitcoin, obviously. So it's really great to see that they're all supporting Cosmoverse. And we also announced the launch of early bird tickets, which are currently sold out already. But if you've been an avid Cosmoverse attendee over the past years, then you are eligible for the same early bird rate that just went out. And all you have to do is fill a form on our website, and then you will be notified if you're eligible for that early bird rate. So Cosmos 4 is happening. We are going to be in Dubai this year, October 21 to 23rd. And if you are a developer, then you should also join Evmos, which is happening October 25 to 27, right? So this is going to be a full week experience. We also have a lot of other events surrounding Cosmoverse, such as Blockchain Live. Cardano Summit is also happening at that time, and also GTEX, which is a huge tech conference that brings in like 20,000 people in the tech space from all around the world. And also the UFC is happening on that same weekend on the 26th. So it's going to be a packed event. It makes a lot of sense to come to Dubai, maybe even for another extra week to also enjoy a little bit. I would do it after the event week, because before I think it's still going to be a little bit hot, but end of October is usually the time when it cools off a little bit. So last year I got back to Dubai in October, and in the early month of October was still hot, but then it cooled off literally throughout the month. And then late October, early November, it should already be a lot more nicer and easier with the climate. Then we also have some news from Thorchain, which is also, from my understanding, going to implement IBC now, at least for Rune as an asset. So we'll have to see there. But they're also doing now aggressive marketing. They're on a lot more events and conferences. We're also in talks now with them about Cosmoverse. And they also have now a lot more educational programs like this one, for example, the Thorchain Uni, the BFRES program, which is now open for enrollment. So go check that out here. Then we also have updates from Neutron. Neutron itself, I think, is also one of the big potential stars in this cycle. Neutron is a brand new atom-secured smart contract hub that is built by the team that actually also built Lido. So P2P Validator is the team behind Neutron, which is also the team behind Lido. And also this team has now announced Drop.money. Drop is a liquid staking solution, basically Lido on Neutron. So that's also very bullish. And Neutron itself has upgrade after upgrade. They now integrate also Slinky by Skip Protocol, which powers ultra-fast Oracle services, and also a Skip fee market integration for EIP 1559, like dynamic fee markets, and also new transaction fee tokens. So Neutron is progressing, advancing, attracting more and more mindshare, more developers, more liquidity, right? Astroport, Mars Protocol, fully aligned there as well. They also own 25% of Confio, so that's nice. But yeah, Neutron, I think, very bullish on the team, on the project, and could be one of the big winners this cycle. At the same time, I also think Osmosis, oftentimes perceived as one of the biggest kind of competitors of Neutron or vice versa. But Osmosis, I think, is still the OG and the IBC hub in Cosmos, right? That's really how I see it. The premier DEX as of today, if you just look at their highlights from June, the highlight reel, you can see that they're not only doing events and attracting all the developers and getting aligned there, but also more and more integrations, right? They have now an AI assistant. They have an integration in Crypto.com's new DeFi wallet called DeFi Wallet, order books and limit orders that are coming. But to be fair, I've heard it now for a very long time. I would actually love to see it actually happening now. Smart accounts are coming. This is actually something that just passed on chain. So that's great. And also the Bitcoinization of Cosmos, right? Which is something that Sunny has been talking about forever. And now it's also happening. We talked about it also last week, how the Nomic BTC proposal passed about revenue sharing for the Osmo community. Some numbers here about the taker fee that was implemented already generated over $7 million, $34 billion in trading volume. So yeah, I think Osmo definitely cannot be faded. There also is a token burn now. So that's also nice to see. You know, don't fade Osmo, don't fade Atom, even though there are maybe underperformers in your portfolio. If you got in, you know, around the time I got in, obviously shortly before IBC went live, you probably started off with Osmosis with a nice juicy airdrop. So, but I understand if you haven't been around at that time, if you also subscribe to this channel later on, then you probably didn't get that airdrop. but you probably got a lot of other airdrops. So, but yeah, that's also another seminar. Anyways, Osmosis, very, very active. A lot of things that are cooking, that are happening. And they're also going to be big at Cosmoverse this year because they're also not doing OsmoCon. Then we also have some updates from Sei. Sei, also a full-on Cosmos SDK blockchain that implements EVM, parallel EVM execution. One of the front runners here, I would say, front runners of Monad, because that's actually also what Monad is trying to do. But Monad, I think, is not going to launch anytime soon, at least not this year. I think earliest later this year, but I think more realistically Q1 next year. And they're now entering phase 3 of this V2 transition. So this is also a longer process. And they're also sharing updates here about a graph protocol integration, about indexing and querying. So that's interesting. Some more applications are launched and evolved and updated. And yeah, that's also maybe something you can check out. Also Tailwind, which is a new wallet that's tailored for Sei. So yeah, Sei Network, also definitely one I think you should put on your watch map, as well as Saga. And that's also now bringing us to the airdrop topic, which I think you're mostly interested in for this video. You shouldn't be only interested in airdrops, but I understand you probably are. But you should be more interested in everything that I have said until now, and not that I'm going to say from now. But yeah, I understand crypto people are here to also get free money as much as possible. So congratulations, you probably got that now with the Vol2 Saga tokens that were distributed. At least if you've been watching this channel, then you knew about the Saga Airdrop. This is the third Saga Airdrop already, actually. So congratulations on yet another Saga Airdrop. My game plan, like I said, fully stake my Saga tokens. Actually have to do that as well. And get more airdrops, right? Stake and get more airdrops from Saga itself, because they're always recycling the unclaimed airdrop amount to those who claimed. At least that's what they've done until now. And also, as the Saga gaming ecosystem comes together, and gaming in Cosmos is inexistent right now, but also gaming as a category right now in crypto is very, very cold, right? It's all about memes right now. It's all about celebrity coins on Solana right now. But I think gaming is definitely going to come back, similar to how Metaverse is going to come back, NFTs are going to come back, some infrastructure narratives as well, like data availability, modularity, restaking. But I think gaming is an absolute no-brainer. So, and Saga really is the gaming hub in Cosmos, and the gaming ecosystem is just now getting rolled out. Now, if you want to get more airdrops, then go on airdrops.one. This is the best place for you to stay on top of the things. There's now a lot more. I'm also losing track here, to be honest. It's getting too much. Swisstronic also doing an airdrop now. Sunrise, which also announced that the public testnet is now live. And I don't really know a lot about Sunrise, to be honest, but as per tweet here, they're saying that they are a specialized DA layer with proof of liquidity, which is something that Berachain has pioneered, and fee abstraction. So interesting, you know, sequence of features that they have here. A lot of words, a lot of buzzwords. So we have to see if that all actually comes together as promised. But they're doing an airdrop, and then there's some others that you can probably also claim right now. And if you want to see which ones you can claim right now, then you click here on claim now, and you'll see also which coins were the eligible criteria. And if you click in it, then you also see more details around that, what was snapshot dates, airdrop size, and so on and so forth. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're not fading crypto just because it's boring right now. And like I said earlier, I also feel like we're in a new phase right now. We're entering a new phase, which is the phase of boredom, where people are just now getting so frustrated that they're not actually saying anything anymore, right? They're just like slowly losing interest and not opening their Twitter anymore, not watching videos anymore, unsubscribing from YouTube channels, not opening their portfolios, not checking prices, not checking news. They're just tired and exhausted of crypto. They don't want to hear it anymore. And those people are getting washed out right now. You're not one of these because you're watching and you're subscribing to Cryptocito. So that's good. But there are these people that are leaving the industry right now. And I think this is a very, very clear signal that the bottom is near, at least. The local bottom is in or near. So alt season is imminent. I still believe that. Could I be wrong? Of course I could be wrong. It could take another 3, 6, 8, 9 months. But at least I don't think it's going to be another 2 years that we're going down only, right? Anyways, that's it for today. Stay subscribed, like this video, share with your friends, and I'm going to see you very soon. Until then, stay safe and be good.